I'll tell you another team in the NFC North who I don't think will be good, but have a very breakout candidate opportunity also at the tight end position is with the Bears and Cole Kmet, because a lot of people like Darnell Mooney a lot, and I don't know if I've seen enough of him in an offense that works to really have an opinion on that. It's clearly some physical ability there. But beyond that, they've got a bunch of number threes in Equiminius St. Browns and Byron Pringle and Dante Pettis. Justin Fields, second
Even
year.
three.
Bit of a change. I'm being kind, all right, Ollie? I'm being kind. A bunch of guys who have no higher ceiling than being a three. How about that? If we're being kind to them. And he saw his targets go up from 46 in his rookie season to 89 last year. He's a guy who could easily be targeted over 100 times this year, become an absolute safety blanket for Justin Fields, depending on what that offense looks like. We're still so unsure of it. But in Chicago, they're convinced that Fields is the guy, but he's going to need somebody to throw to. And so there's a guy there who I think also, if we're talking, this wasn't a show about NFC North tight ends, but if it was, that would be my shout.
Yeah. Minnesota too. It's a tough one. You say they're in on Justin Fields. I mean, how many times do you have to bang on about the fact that unlike every other team with a young quarterback who is spending crazy amounts of money or throwing every draft pick in the world at trying to find a wide receiver to help out the young quarterback, they're the one who's changed the staff that drafted him, right? The front office moved, that the coaches moved on. And those offseason moves do not look to me like they have complete and utter faith that Justin Fields can be the real deal. If he is able to somehow squeeze something out of it, I mean, that offense is probably the worst in the league in terms of you just have nothing you're excited about except for the quarterback, which is just never a good way to go. And you see that with Trevor Lawrence last year, right? There is only so much you can do when it's that bad around you. So yeah, Kmet, I mean, yeah, as you said, safety blanket because he's running around for his life, and the big tall guy in the middle of the field is usually the one you try and look to when you're panicked. I agree with that. If you're playing fantasy football, that I would be all over that, because as you mentioned, it's probably going to be 100 targets. Because when you start getting into a gimmicky situation where you're like, all our players are basically bad, we have to manufacture offense, which is what Matt Nagy was famous for, even when he had good players. That's when you start throwing the tight end screens, right? That's when you bring out all the fun stuff, which at the NFL level probably is nonsense, but you have to call it because you got nothing else in your bag. So I could see that.